Hey, so the characteristics and interventions that I'm going to talk about, I chose anxiety and defensive behavior. I chose this because I think this is a really, really common characteristic that you see a lot in the group setting when there's people involved with strangers. At first they're anxious and they're defensive because they don't know who they can trust, and they don't know what they can say without being judged, or without people thinking that they're weird, and things like that, which it talks about in chapter 7 about the fears of making a fool of themselves and the fears of being judged by other group members. And I think that's very, very common because people usually enter these groups and sometimes they feel like they're the only ones with these certain types of problems, and which, as we know, that's the purpose of group, is to get support from other people and learn that you're not the only one dealing with these issues and with these problems. So the intervention that I would choose would be to teach members to respect anxiety and defensive behavior and to work constructively with attempts at self-protection. I think it's just important for people to respect others' anxieties and defensiveness, because if you respect their anxiety and their defensive behavior, I think it shows that person that you can empathize with them and relate to them and understand that, hey, I respect that you're anxious and you're defensive because you're new to this and you don't know who you can trust. So I think that goes a long way in helping them begin to trust the group members and the leader and be able to open up and share more. So for the four stages: forming, storming, norming, and performing. Forming would be obviously the first step, and that would be high dependence on the leader for guidance and direction. I think these stages are very interesting, and I think it really helps someone understand how a group is formed and how it grows from the beginning of the group to what it will eventually evolve into. So the second stage is storming, which is in chapter 7. It says decisions don't come easily within the group, and team members vie for position as they attempt to establish themselves in relation to the other members and the leader. And this is just the point in the group where people are, so they've gotten a little bit past the beginning, but they're still trying to figure out like who they feel like speaks up the most, and who they can relate to and things like that. And then norming is the third stage, and that's when agreement consensus largely forms among the team, who will respond well to facilitation by a leader, and roles and responsibilities are clear and accepted. People really start to understand where they sit in the group and where they kind of what role they play and how they contribute to the group, and they start to notice how others contribute to the group as well. And then the last stage, 4, is performing. That's when the team is more strategically aware. The team knows clearly why it's doing what it's doing, and the team has a shared vision, is able to stand on its own feet. That's extremely important, because when a group is really performing well and people are used to each other, they've started to build rapport and trust. The group kind of starts to lead itself, because people realize why they're there and what they're doing there and how the group can help them, and they understand the power of the group. So I think the 4 stages are really interesting and really important to understand. Thank you.